At the start of the story, we see a temple where many Buddha statues are placed, and suddenly, a person appears and starts breaking all those statues. This person is holding a doll, shaking violently, as if a soul is trapped inside it. And then, we are shown that this person is actually a small girl, and she says, "Even if you are trapped inside a bathroom, I will find you." Then, the scene shifts to a university in Japan, where a boy has just taken admission, and his name is Kitaro. As soon as he finishes his speech and comes outside, he meets his friend named Eiko, and she clicks a photo with him. But suddenly, we see that because of a curse, the photo also gets ruined. This makes Kitaro very angry and worried, and he says, "It seems like I have cursed you too." But Eiko tells him this is not his fault at all, and that she was the one who asked him to take the photo. Then Kitaro explains that whenever anyone takes a photo with him, the same thing happens. After that, we are told more about Kitaro, that he always wears a glove on one hand, and when he was in high school, a spirit put a curse on him, which is why he keeps that glove on his hand. And we are also told that all spirits are naturally drawn toward Kitaro, and because of this his friend also got cursed, after which he stayed locked inside his room for 2 whole years. Then Eiko and her family motivate him to go outside, and he gets ready to live a normal life again. On the other hand, Eiko finds a job for him, and after explaining everything she leaves, after which Kitaro goes to the place she told him about, which turns out to be a private coaching center, where a man tells Kitaro that he has to tutor a little girl named Yaoi. And hearing this, Kitaro gets extremely scared because he has not talked to anyone for a very long time. Then in the next scene, we again see the same little girl holding a candle and going into a room filled with cursed dolls, while she keeps saying, "Come out, come out." Then the next morning, Kitaro goes to her house to tutor her, but he realizes that this house belongs to his friend Eiko. And as soon as he rings the bell, Eiko comes outside and asks if he needs something, and Kitaro tells her that he has come to tutor a small girl. Hearing this, Eiko becomes very happy, and then she tells him that Yaoi is her cousin. When they go inside, Kitaro gets completely shocked after seeing her and says, "Hey, who is this, and who are you living with?" Yaoi points toward his hand and says that there is a very scary spirit inside his hand. Hearing this, Kitaro gets shocked and realizes that Yaoi can also see spirits just like him. Then Kitaro notices that the doll in her hand also contains a spirit and tells her to let it go. But suddenly, Yaoi starts choking the doll's neck and says, "Please forgive it, it scared you." Seeing all this, Kitaro is already terrified, but then he remembers how Eiko helped him live a normal life again, and he tells Yaoi that he is ready to teach her, and from today onward, he will be her tutor. Then in the next scene, they make him sit in a car and take him somewhere and tell him that now that you are here, you can easily drive the ghost away. But Kitaro angrily says, "Hey, I don't know how to exorcise ghosts. I am not some tantric or baba." After that, they reach in front of a telephone booth, and Eiko explains that this telephone booth is completely cursed, and many people once killed a girl here who used to take expensive gifts from her lovers, and those same lovers killed her here. And since then, this telephone booth has been cursed. Eiko says that whoever tries to go inside or talk on this phone gets killed by that girl. Hearing all this, Kitaro gets extremely scared, but suddenly he sees Yaoi going inside the telephone booth, and he pulls her out and asks if she is okay, saying that he cannot see any ghost here. But even then, Kitaro can still sense the ghost as if it is right nearby. Then he goes inside and tries to make a call, and from inside he starts hearing very strange voices saying, "Hurry up, hurry up!" And suddenly, the entire telephone booth starts filling with blood. Yaoi pulls Kitaro outside and puts her doll inside the telephone booth, and the ghost brutally tears the doll apart. And when Kitaro and Eiko see this, their fear completely explodes, and they run away from there. Then in the next scene, all of them return home, where Kitaro is teaching Yaoi and asks her if she can really see spirits, and she replies that she can see them and also catch them. Then Eiko explains to Kitaro that a few years ago Yaoi's parents died, and since then she has been living with her, and she likes going to haunted places so that she can try to find the spirits of her mom and dad again. After that, we are shown Yaoi's past, where she is happily spending time with her mom and dad, laughing and enjoying, but suddenly everyone meets with an accident, but Yaoi survives it, and after that her IQ becomes much sharper than before, because of which she is able to see not only humans but also ghosts, and she sees that an evil spirit takes her mother's soul away with it, and since then she can still see her father's soul, but she never sees her mother's soul again. And Eiko is telling Kitaro all of this, explaining that this is the reason why Yaoi keeps going to haunted places again and again so that she can find her mother once more. Then the scene changes from here, and all of them once again reach the same telephone booth. But Kitaro is still extremely scared, and just by looking at him it feels like he has both peed and messed his pants in fear. Kitaro is holding a small statue in his hand that is supposed to protect him from the evil spirit, but suddenly we see that his gloved hand drags him inside the phone booth, and he gets so scared that it feels like he's about to die. Then the spirit starts choking Kitaro's neck, because of which the Buddha statue slips from his hand and falls down, and he thinks, "Why is this statue not working? Looks like I am done for." But Yaoi sees that the Buddha statue is actually working. It is just that this spirit is extremely dangerous. Then in the next scene, Yaoi pulls out 2 weapons from behind her waist and jumps into the air, saying to the spirit that if you want to choose violence, moments, then take this. And she uses the Buddha statue to launch a powerful attack on the booth, completely destroying it. And now a loud screaming voice starts coming from the phone, after which she cuts the phone wires as well. And then she comes to Kitaro and tells him that there is no need to panic, no matter how strong it is. She is with him and she will always help him. As all of them are heading back home, Kitaro once again senses the same spirit because the phone is still with Yae. After reaching home, Kitaro becomes very disturbed and cannot understand what just happened to him. And then Eiko tells him that when he was talking on the phone, he had a very evil smile on his face. And Kitaro wonders if he really did that, thinking that the more he tries to run away from these things, the more he gets trapped in them. And then he asks Yae if they will have to go there again. But she replies that they do not need to go back because nothing is left there anymore. Then we see inside Yae's room that the same telephone booth spirit is being tortured and bullied by other spirits. While on the other side, Yae asks Kitaro if he knows about Kodoku. And hearing this, he gets shocked and asks Kodoku or Kukuduku. Then Yae explains that it means putting many poisonous insects together inside a jar so that they torture and kill each other, and whoever survives goes on to torture others. Kitaro is already terrified, so he tells Yae that if she ever needs anything, she can tell him. Then in the next scene, Kitaro walks while thinking that he barely managed to get a normal life, but he has once again gotten stuck in all this mess. And as soon as he reaches Eiko's house, Yae opens the door, and seeing the doll in her hand, he gets extremely scared. While they are sitting and talking, Yae tells him that they need to go to another haunted place, but Kitaro clearly refuses and makes an excuse, saying that a spirit once cursed him, and for its treatment, he has to go places again and again, so he cannot go with them. But in the very next moment, all of them are sitting inside a car, making it clear that they have convinced Kitaro to come along. Though his condition is really bad because he is trapped again, Kitaro does not understand why Eiko keeps supporting Yae so much. Yae asks him if he really has to go again and again for his treatment, and he replies that yes, he does. Then Eiko tells him that the temple they are going to today has a priest who is actually Kitaro's grandmother. After that, all of them reach the temple while joking and enjoying on the way. But as soon as Kitaro's grandmother sees Yae, she gets extremely angry at her and shouts, "Why did you bring her here? This girl is very dangerous. Take her away from here." And she also says that this is the same girl who broke 5 Buddha statues, to which Yae replies, "Not 5, 7, making her even angrier. But Kitaro tries to calm her down, and she snaps at him asking why he is stopping her. After Kitaro convinces her, her anger cools down and she lets Yae go with a warning, then tells Kitaro to come with her because it is time to exorcise the curse. Then his grandmother and another person start performing the curse exorcism on his hand, and his grandmother tells him that if he eats well and exercises daily, evil spirits will not overpower him. Kitaro thinks that if his grandmother was not with him, he would never have been able to live a normal life. Yae tries to peek into the room, but Eiko stops her and shows her a photo of Kitaro's hand, which has many tiny white veins all over it that look very strange. Then his grandmother uses a divine sword to cut all those veins, and once the curse exorcism is complete, Kitaro and his grandmother come outside, both completely exhausted, and then Eiko and Yae also arrive there. Yae asks if she can keep those veins, and his grandmother casually agrees and says that anyway Yae likes spooky things. And then she tells them that there is a very dangerous doll in the basement of this temple and that no one is allowed to go there at all. It is said that no one is allowed to go there. Then we are shown Kitaro walking on the road when he finds a doll, and he feels that this doll might have been accidentally left behind by his grandmother. So he takes it and starts going toward the temple basement, a place where entry is forbidden for everyone. And Kitaro's grandmother explains that whoever goes into the basement, all the dolls kept there try to take over that person's body. On the way, Kitaro finds a doll wearing red clothes and carries it toward the basement, while on the other side, his grandmother explains that these dolls are extremely dangerous, and among them, there is one especially dangerous Japanese doll wearing red clothes. Then we are shown the scene inside the temple basement where Kitaro is sitting with that same doll, and many other dolls are around him, their red eyes glowing, which means Kitaro has already fallen under their control. And suddenly, all the hair of that doll starts entering Kitaro's mouth and he regains consciousness. He tries to pull it out but fails, and Kitaro is about to faint when Yae suddenly arrives and uses her divine sword to cut the doll's hair and scolds it, asking who gave you permission to possess humans. Then she beheads it and warns all the dolls that if any of them tries to possess a human again, she will cut their head off. Do you understand? Hearing this, all the dolls return to normal. Then Kitaro's grandmother and Eiko also arrive there, and Kitaro thinks that Yae saved his life without caring about her own. Now all of them get ready to leave, and Kitaro tells his grandmother that now he can say this clearly, that Yae is a good girl and she is his first student. So he wants to take care of her, but his grandmother warns him that the Buddha statues she broke might trouble him on the way, so he should take a gift for them and pray so that he stays safe. While leaving, Kitaro buys Yae a small gift that contains many Buddha statues, and in return she says that she will take him to her room and show him her doll collection. In the next scene, she brings him to her room, and as soon as Kitaro enters, he gets completely shocked and says, "Is this what I think it is?" "Yes, it is." Then Yae explains that she has trapped many powerful evil spirits inside her room. Then she brings that doll forward and connects its head using Kitaro's cut cut veins. And seeing all this, Kitaro's fear multiplies several times. The moment Yae touches the doll, blood starts flowing from its eyes, and Kitaro thinks that he believed he would take care of her, but the closer he gets to her, the farther he moves from his normal life and feels that he is completely trapped. Just then, Eiko suddenly places her hand on Kitaro's shoulder from behind, and his fear spikes even more. But Eiko explains everything to him, saying that ever since Yae came here, nothing bad has happened, so he can calm down. It seems she cannot see spirits and is just saying nonsense. And just then, Yae comes out of the room and says she will not let anything happen to anyone, including Kitaro, but for that she needs his nails, which shocks him. In the next scene, Kitaro goes again to tutor her even though he does not want to, but he remembers how much Eiko helped him, so he goes. And when Eiko opens the door, Kitaro sees that she is completely fine and unharmed. Eiko tells him that since Yae came, there has been no trouble at all, when suddenly Yae appears and starts cutting Kitaro's nails, and he shouts asking what she is doing. He tries to teach her, but Yae keeps chasing his nails, and Kitaro clearly refuses, saying he will not give her his nails. Then Eiko suggests going to another haunted place, but as usual, Kitaro refuses. And when Eiko insists, he gets angry, after which both of them sit in the car, and Yae asks him if he will come with them. But Kitaro angrily refuses again. Yae says she thought he liked spooky things, and even his curse, but Kitaro shouts that he hates it, and if he could, he would throw it away. Hearing this, Yae gets disappointed and tells Eiko to start the car, and both of them leave while talking about Kitaro. On the way, Yae says that Kitaro's curse can be removed, which makes Eiko happy, and they go to buy some supplies. Kitaro also walks into a mall to buy something that might help Yae study. On the way, Yae tells Eiko that they are going to a divine city where there is a temple where children who were killed before being born are buried, and that place has many Buddha statues showing mothers and children. Yae explains that there is a goddess spirit there that has turned evil. As they travel, they see many ghosts on the road. Then, they reach the temple and Yae gets ready to enter, telling Eiko that if she does not return within 1 hour, she should bring help. Standing in front of the temple, Yae thinks that she saw many spirits on the way, but here she can sense only one, which means the rest are hiding inside. As she enters the temple, she sees many Buddha statues, but the place is deserted and full of spirits. Then we are told that many children's spirits exist there who have not attained salvation and have merged into one powerful evil spirit, including many small spirits. Yae notices the goddess spirit surrounded by children's souls and says that Kitaro, to fix you today, I will hunt this goddess. But the spirit attacks her and a Buddha statue crashes behind her. The children's spirits drop the statue on Yae, while on the other side, Eiko waits anxiously. Yae manages to escape into the forest while dodging the spirits, even though she is already injured. Then she takes out paper dolls and ties her hair to them, and it is explained that when she does this, the paper dolls become her duplicates and follow her commands. Suddenly, a child spirit appears and Yae says, "You came at the perfect time. I was waiting for you." After more than an hour, Eiko goes to Kitaro for help, but he refuses at first, until Eiko tells him that Yae is doing all this for him, after which Kitaro agrees. Meanwhile, Yae keeps running from the goddess spirit, but falls down, and just as the spirit is about to attack her, Yae places a paper doll in front, making the spirit think it is a child, so it retreats, and Yae uses this chance to escape and trick all the spirits with her paper dolls and returns home. Kitaro also comes to the temple to save her, terrified but determined, calling out to her, and when Yae sees him, she is shocked to see many spirits behind him, so she quickly breaks a finger off a statue, jumps into Kitaro's arms, and Kitaro immediately runs away carrying her. But while escaping, Eiko's car gets a small scratch, and since Kitaro is a good person, he ends up paying the cost. In the evening, Kitaro carries Yae on his back and thanks her for everything she did for him. Yae remembers her parents and starts crying, then says that if anyone ever harms her friends, she will not forgive them, and tells Kitaro that he is a very good friend and she will tell him everything at home. In the next scene, they return home, where Kitaro takes Yae to her room and she explains that if a human's personal item is put inside a doll, all misfortune meant for that human transfers to the doll. As she opens her room, Kitaro sees many dolls badly damaged, and Yae explains that all attacks meant for her fall on these dolls, and every doll contains a part of her like hair or nails, and she says that this is how she has protected everyone. Hearing this, Kitaro is completely shocked, realizing that this little girl truly thinks far ahead. She tells all the dolls kept there that whatever happened today was all caused by this finger, and it does not contain any part of her, so they can do whatever they want with it. And all the dolls kept there get extremely angry because they have suffered a lot of damage. All these spirits start attacking the spirit inside the finger, brutally torturing it, and it keeps begging Yae to please save it. Kitaro watches all this in shock and finally understands how Yae controls spirits. Kitaro asks her why she is doing all this and why she needs so many spirits. Yae explains that the spirit that captured her mother's soul is extremely strong, and to fight it, she needs many powerful spirits. Yae says that if her leg was not injured, she would have brought the entire statue itself, which could have removed Kitaro's curse much faster. Kitaro says that if his curse can be removed this way, then the girl who was cursed because of him can also be freed, and that girl is none other than Eiko. Then we are shown a past scene where Eiko removed her glove and showed her hand to Yae, and Yae was shocked to see that Eiko had the exact same curse on her hand as Kitaro. Then in the present, Yae explains to Kitaro that if they destroy the very spirit that cursed both of them, the curse will disappear. Hearing this, Kitaro is a little stunned. Then he starts thinking about Eiko and realizes that he can free her this way, after which he tells Yae that he needs some time to think. Yae tries hard to convince him that by doing this he can return both of their lives to normal, and Kitaro again starts thinking about how Eiko helped him live a normal life and also wonders whether he should step back into the very things he always tried to run away from. Then we see a morning scene where Eiko is getting ready to go to college but cannot decide what to wear, and Kitaro tells her to hurry up and wear anything because they are getting late, and she replies casually that she can go by car anyway. After that they leave for college, and as soon as Eiko reaches there, many students surround her and invite her to join different clubs like the computer lab and science lab. Then many girls gather around Eiko, and seeing this, Kitaro thinks that Eiko's social life is really good, yet she still stays with him, and he keeps blaming himself that Eiko got cursed because of him, when suddenly Eiko comes to him and asks if he also wants to join her and says she wants to study in the same class as him. Now both of them sit and talk, where Eiko suggests that Kitaro should join a haunted studies course, but Kitaro refuses, thinking that Eiko has always liked spooky things, but because of him she stayed away from them. Then Eiko starts doing emotional drama, and Kitaro finally agrees. In the next scene, they enter the ghost-themed classroom where the teacher warns everyone that the story they are about to hear is extremely scary and also a true incident, telling them to keep their eyes and ears open and hold their hearts steady. Then he tells them about a cassette called Soshai, in which a boy burned himself to death, and he says that whoever watches this video ends up doing the same thing in real life. Hearing this, Kitaro gets even more scared, thinking he is going to die again. Then the video starts playing and we see a boy sitting, while many shadows around him help spread kerosene, and when the boy sits back on the chair, he looks exactly like Kitaro, shocking both Kitaro and Eiko, and the next moment the boy sets himself on fire and the video ends, meaning the film is over. The teacher also gets shocked and says that when he watched this video earlier it was not like this, and saying that he runs away shouting that he is going to call a tantric. Within moments, the entire class empties and only these three kids remain. Then Yae notices that the doll she has starts burning on its own, and she tells them that this doll contains their nails, and if it did not, they would all be dead by now. Then Yae pours salt on the tape and blood starts coming out of it, and she explains that this spirit is much stronger than her own spirit, which is why the doll burned. After that, she locks the cassette spirit inside a box and plays the same video in front of it so that the curse rebounds onto the spirit itself. But as soon as Yae plays the video, Kitaro's hand starts burning. He quickly puts it out but gets completely terrified, unable to understand what is happening to him. Now they think about running away but realize they cannot escape by car or train because everyone's lives would be in danger, and since the curse is on Kitaro, others can be dragged along too, so he tells both of them to leave and that he will handle everything alone. Kitaro becomes extremely distressed when Eiko sits beside him and reminds him of the time Kitaro saved her during an accident. Kitaro also remembers how Eiko always supported him, and tears fill his eyes as he agrees to go with them. After that, they sit in the car, and Kitaro is completely stripped except for a cloth tied around his hand, so the ghost cannot burn him and any fire can be extinguished easily. As soon as the car starts, Yae also plays the video inside the garden, and the next moment Kitaro's hand catches fire, so he sticks it out of the window to put it out, which works, but then the carton box starts shaking violently and his hand catches fire again, and the fire keeps getting stronger, making Yae realize that the spirit is using all its power. When the light turns green, Eiko accelerates the car, finally extinguishing the fire on Kitaro's hand and stopping the box from shaking. Yae feels that the spirit has been defeated and takes it to her room, and as they return after treating Kitaro's hand, Eiko explains what happened to that man in the past, saying he was bullied badly and later his family was also harassed, which drove him to burn himself alive, and after that his spirit killed those people and the curse kept spreading one by one. Then we are shown Yae's past where she holds the same grass doll and says that since you hurt Kitaro, you will be punished. While talking, they reach home, and Eiko enters her cupboard where many pictures of Kitaro are pasted, revealing that Eiko is actually a psycho who loves Kitaro deeply and keeps putting herself in danger so that Kitaro will save her and come closer to her. After that, Kitaro goes to meet his school friends to stay away from ghosts and connect more with people. Then we see a flashback where Eiko bought many things for him so that he could blend in well and look handsome. The story returns to the present where Kitaro is extremely nervous about how to talk to people, when suddenly a man named Nagayama, the club head, comes and motivates him before leaving, filling Kitaro with determination as he decides to make new friends no matter what. While on the other side, Eiko keeps a close watch on Kitaro, even monitoring his heartbeat. When Yae suddenly appears and shocks Eiko, asking what she was doing and if she was crying, Yae pretends to talk casually and traps Eiko, checks her laptop, and realizes that all the clothes Eiko bought for Kitaro contain sensors, meaning she is fully monitoring him. Yae asks if she truly loves Kitaro, and Eiko admits that she loves him deeply, when suddenly ghostly voices voices start coming out of the laptop, and Eiko says it is normal because such sounds always come from around Kitaro. Then we see Kitaro arrive at a place with two people trying to befriend them, introducing himself as Kitaro from the literature department and asking their names. And after they introduce themselves, silence falls again as Kitaro struggles to figure out what to say next. They sit there monitoring Kitaro and also make very nasty fun of him. And Eiko explains that whenever we talk to someone, we should keep asking them questions again and again so the conversation keeps going. After that, the same guy comes back to Kitaro, the club president named Nagayama, and tells Kitaro that after the party ends, he should come with him to his house. In the next scene, we see that Kitaro agrees to go with him, and many other people are also there. And Nagayama takes all of them toward his house while telling them many things on the way, but suddenly Kitaro senses a ghost nearby and tells Nagayama about it. And hearing this, Nagayama gives an evil smile and starts telling Kitaro a story, saying, "Hey kid, do you know that at Rio University there is a club where people keep committing suicide, and whenever new students join it, they also die one by one. Yet the club never shuts down. Many students kept joining and dying like this." Kitaro asks why the club has not been stopped till now, and Nagayama says it is impossible because whenever such incidents happen, the club changes its name, and no one has ever been able to identify it. And he even says that everything about that club changes except one name, and he feels that name is behind all of this. Hearing all this, Kitaro gets extremely scared, and Nagayama says that the person making all this happen also dies along with the students but comes back to life again and again, changing his face every time, which is why catching him is so difficult. Kitaro listens to all this very carefully as they walk, and Nagayama asks him if he wants to know that person's name, saying his name is Nagayama. And in the next moment, Kitaro faints because Nagayama had mixed medicine in his water. On the other side, Yae and Eiko are also watching all this, and Yae tells Eiko that before it is too late, they must help Kitaro. So both of them rush out to save him, and when Kitaro opens his eyes, he sees that a noose is tied around his neck, his mouth is sealed, and many people are around him with nooses around their necks as well. Yae and Eiko rush swiftly to save Kitaro. Yae checks where the tea department is and is shocked to see that 133 people have already died there, but she cannot understand why a spirit that kills so many students is staying in the tea department. Then, Eiko explains that the tea department is very close to Rio University and new students come there every year, which gives the spirit more victims, and that spirit's name is Nagayama. After some time, both of them reach there, and as soon as they enter, they see Nagayama standing there with Kitaro hanging by the noose, and he lifts Yae up with one hand, but Yae quickly stuffs a wine bottle into his mouth, making him furious. Then he tries to burn all of them, but Yae throws his lighter away and asks him why he still wants to kill everyone, even though the ghost inside him has already left, and in the next moment, she attacks him with the wine bottle and knocks him unconscious in one blow. Then we are told that this man's real name is Maki, and not Nagayama, and Nagayama is the name of the spirit that was inside him earlier but has now come out. Yae ties him up and asks who gave him the right to kill so many people. After that, they bring everyone down and try to escape before the police arrive. But Kitaro cannot understand why the ghost was using hanging to kill everyone. Then the spirit returns to this man's body again and kills itself, and Kitaro once again senses a powerful ghost nearby. Yae explains that the man is already dead, and his soul was eaten by the spirit Nagayama, which made it even stronger, and she clears Kitaro's doubt that the spirit used hanging because when someone dies that way, the victim's soul and Nagayama's soul come to the same level, making it easier for the spirit to devour them. Then we see a small doll in Yae's hand in which she has trapped Nagayama's soul, and we are told that from that day onward, suicide stopped happening there. While returning, Kitaro feels very upset and says that once again he could not make new friends and feels like he is getting even more stuck in these things than last year and his life is getting ruined. Yae explains that he does not go toward ghosts. Ghosts are attracted to him, so he should learn to fight them, and Eiko agrees. Then Kitaro asks how they found her location, and Yae jokes that girls have a sixth sense. After that, they go out camping, and Kitaro feels they brought him there so he could forget the old incident. Eiko says Yae has been with her for a long time but never forced her to go out, but now that Kitaro is here, they can all go out together. Then both girls start teasing Kitaro and making fun of him, after which Kitaro and Yae go fishing but fail to catch even a single fish, instead catching frogs and other things. Yae asks if he is now ready to support her in catching ghosts, and Kitaro says he has not thought about it yet and asks what problems she is facing, worrying that if his curse spreads to his whole body or if something happens to Yae or Eiko, but Yae suggests a competition instead, saying whoever catches more fish will decide, yet neither of them catches any fish. Tired, they return to the camp where Eiko has already cooked food. They eat happily and sleep at night, but only Eiko sleeps while Kitaro and Yae keep chatting. Eiko takes him for a walk and they talk deeply. Eiko tells him she has been researching their curse for a long time so both of them can be freed, and says she goes to haunted places to remove the curse, shocking Kitaro, and the next moment Eiko confesses her love to him, saying she likes him too, and asks if she can go to places full of ghosts. She just wants a promise that wherever she goes, Kitaro will go with her, and Kitaro thinks that no matter what he must remove both of their curses and promises her. But while returning suddenly, Eiko sees a spirit on a bridge jumping down and gets terrified, asking Kitaro if he saw it too. But Kitaro sees nothing and denies it. Later, while sleeping at the camp, the same bridge ghost appears and Kitaro sees Eiko walking toward the bridge as if possessed. He grabs her and wakes Yae. Yae explains that Eiko is possessed by a spirit that is controlling her and is hard to trap in a mindless doll. Kitaro explains what Eiko told him about the bridge, so they take her there while Yae watches from behind to attack at the right time. Kitaro calls Yae and tells her he can see a ghost on the bridge, and she confirms she sees it too. They explain the plan to free Eiko, but it fails, and Eiko still tries to jump. Kitaro tries to stop her when many ghosts suddenly appear and start tearing at Yae's dolls. Then the ghosts attack Kitaro, and he falls down with Eiko, but a rope tied to his waist saves them. Yae realizes the ghosts used Eiko as bait to attack Kitaro and wanted to kill him from the start. The ghosts try to pull the soul out of the doll, but Yae throws salt, forcing them back, trapping one ghost. Yae counts to 3 and threatens it to enter the doll or be eaten by the others, terrifying it into obeying. Yae explains there are 10 spirits here, and they have captured 2. Then we see a flashback of Kitaro and Yae planning to use him as bait. Back in the present, as Kitaro carries Eiko toward the water, many ghosts follow, and one possesses Eiko again, making Kitaro panic and fall. Eiko tries to force a ghost into his mouth, but Kitaro drinks a bottle from his pocket, shown in a flashback where Yae gave him wine to expel ghosts and rice dolls to trap them. And they execute the plan. Yae captures many ghosts and explains that the temple ghost has eaten another spirit. Then she pulls out screwdrivers and stabs them into the dolls, warning the ghosts to enter the dolls or face worse, terrifying them into obeying. She demands to know who possessed Eiko, and when they stay silent, she cuts a doll, making them fight each other until the guilty one is revealed. Yae threatens it with eternal decay inside her doll. The temple ghost eats it. The remaining dolls burst, and they bring Eiko back to camp to rest. At night, Eiko wakes and holds Kitaro's hand, saying she remembers nothing, but knows he helped her a lot, then confesses her love, shocking Kitaro, who finally replies, "I love you too." Later at home, Kitaro promises to help catch ghosts and remove both their curses, but Eiko secretly listens and smiles creepily, hinting she has her own plans. And after that, Kitaro fully prepares to hunt ghosts with Yae, still confused about why so many ghosts gathered at the bridge, and Yae explains the 3 reasons ghosts gather together, then talks about the deadly spirit that captured her mother's soul, naming it the Ghost of Death, and we see that spirit devouring smaller souls along with her mother's voice. Then Yae gives Kitaro a coin that shows ghost locations. They prepare to leave. Eiko joins, saying Kitaro promised to take her everywhere. Kitaro grows nervous, recalling how Eiko forced him to call her his girlfriend, and now thinks he must protect both Yae and Eiko. Yae reassures him, and he wishes to become strong like her. Then they arrive at a huge tunnel called S Tunnel, known as the most haunted place in the city, where a woman's spirit and her child appear, sometimes crawling behind cars or hanging upside down. And if someone walks through it, the ghost grabs their hand, terrifying Kitaro while exciting the girls. Eiko even brings a camera. Kitaro touches something strange on the tunnel wall, and Eiko suddenly holds his hand, making him happy. But when he looks back, she is far away, shocking him. Yae pulls out a doll to catch the spirit, but it vanishes. They rush back into the car and enter the tunnel again. Yae explains ghosts cannot enter cars unless invited, but suddenly, a ghost appears in front of them, and Yae rams it with the car, explaining the 3 types of ghosts, then opens the door and gives Kitaro a doll. And when the ghost enters, Kitaro catches it, terrified, thinking it is his last day, then realizing the presence beside him is only his imagination. They reach home, but the tunnel ghost follows Kitaro inside, attacks him while he sleeps, and Yae realizes the ghost tricked them and rushes with Eiko to save him, where Yae enters the room alone, and we see a flashback of Yae and Eiko planning how to catch this ghost and its exact location. They already know from before that this ghost can create illusions, and Yae figures out that the ghost is hiding behind the door, so she stays alert. Then in the present, Yae rips off the ghost's hair and tries to choke its neck, making the spirit struggle badly for breath. Yae tells it to leave Kitaro, and as soon as the ghost lets go of Kitaro, Yae says that she never said she would let it go too, and she traps it inside her doll. Then we see a morning scene where the 3 of them are calmly having breakfast together, and Kitaro feels like what happened at night was just a terrifying dream. But Yae clears it up and tells him it was not a dream at all. Kitaro hesitates and says that it feels like he is just increasing her workload by being with her, and maybe he should not stay with her. But Yae tells him that because of him, she managed to capture many spirits last month, and like this, they keep chatting for a long time, after which Kitaro starts heading home, and Yae tells him to check his bag once, and when they open it, they see that the same spirit doll is sitting inside trying to escape, shocking Kitaro as he asks what it is doing in his bag. Yae pulls the doll out and warns it that if it tries to escape again, it will not end well for it. As soon as Kitaro leaves, he gets a call from his coaching center saying he now has to tutor another girl, and then we are shown that same girl whom Kitaro is going to teach. She comes running to meet him, but suddenly falls down, making him panic and ask what happened. After that, both of them sit in a cafe cafe where the girl keeps teasing Kitaro, calling him her king and asking if she is his cutest student. While Kitaro thinks he usually stays far away from such girls, but suddenly he notices a star-shaped mark in her eye that looks like some kind of lens and feels very strange. Then they introduce themselves and Kitaro tells her that his name is Kitaro and from today he is her tutor, and the girl says her name is Ai Camille and that she loves sweets. Then they order ice cream and desserts, but Ai finishes her ice cream very quickly and keeps staring at Kitaro's dessert. So Kitaro tells her they should study, and if she answers his questions correctly, he will give her the dessert. Otherwise, he will eat it himself. But she answers all his questions wrong, and Kitaro ends up eating all the sweets one by one, thinking she is very weak in studies, and he will need to spend more time on her. She gets upset and demands more sweets loudly. And when a waitress comes, a glass of water spills on Ai, making her even angrier. Kitaro notices footprints on the water on the floor. Then Ai asks if he can really see ghosts and drive them away and begs for his help. Ai explains that since childhood she has been extremely unlucky and ghosts are drawn to her just like they are to Kitaro. She says ghosts do not possess her but do very bad things around her, and when she was coming to meet him she felt as if a ghost grabbed her leg and made her fall. She also tells him that she had an elder brother who died in an accident, and then says that the spirit Kitaro sensed around her might be her brother's soul protecting her from evil spirits, and that she always tries to stay happy so her brother's soul stays happy too. After hearing all this, Kitaro takes her to Yai, and Ai becomes very happy seeing her and cannot believe such a small girl can fight ghosts. But Yai uses her eyes and sees two spirits behind Ai. One is her brother and the other is something else. Then she uses her doll to capture the spirit wearing white clothes, impressing Ai greatly. As they leave, Yai tells Ai that if any spirit troubles her, she can contact her, and she plucks a strand of Ai's hair so she can protect her from ghosts. Later at night, while Kitaro is sleeping, he gets a call from Yai saying that the doll she captured is choking itself, meaning Ai's life is in danger, and both of them rush to save her. They reach Ai's apartment, and Kitaro says her room number is 301, but he wonders how she lives alone and how the apartment would be locked from inside, when Yai suddenly starts climbing a nearby pole, jumps straight to the apartment, breaks the window with a hammer, and enters inside. At that moment, something is choking Ai, and when she opens her eyes, she sees that the spirit is none other than her brother's, and the clock is about to strike 12. Yai also arrives there, but before she can act, the clock hits 12 and her brother's spirit slowly starts disappearing. Yai asks him why he did this, and he replies that he only wanted to protect his sister from her bad fate. The next morning, Ai cries badly, thinking that her own brother wanted to kill her, and Kitaro tells her that he did not sense any evil in her brother, and there must be a reason. Ai says she wants to know that reason, and then reveals that she is going to die in 4 years, shocking both of them. Ai explains that a god fell in love with her, and when she turns 20, he will take her soul, and when Kitaro looks at a nearby photo, he sees Ai, her brother, and another spirit. Yai checks too, but initially sees nothing. Then after focusing, she also sees that spirit. Then we see the same doll that held the white-clothed spirit completely destroyed as the spirit comes out and says that Ai is its property, and it will not give her to anyone. As the spirit is released, the star returns to Ai's eyes, and the spirit starts devouring other spirits, declaring that after 4 years, Ai will belong to it, and no one can stop it. Yai tells Kitaro that Ai is right because that spirit is truly a god, since it fought all the spirits in her room and defeated them easily, proving it is a god. Suddenly, the lights go out and Kitaro says other spirits have started gathering, so they need to do something. Yai explains that divine energy is leaking from Ai's eyes and attracting spirits. Kitaro asks Ai if she can see ghosts, and she replies she can only see her brother. Then Eiko arrives because Yai called her, and immediately starts scolding Kitaro, and forces him to call her his girlfriend in front of Ai, and Kitaro lowers his head and admits she is his girlfriend. Ai teases him, saying how someone like him managed to get such a cute girlfriend, and calls him an idiot. Then they make an excuse to take Ai away because the place is no longer safe. Kitaro is already terrified and goes aside to pee, but suddenly he notices a very dangerous ghost in front of him, and his pants start getting wet from fear. And with that, this episode comes to the end. So if you enjoy this anime and want next episodes, so don't forget to like and subscribe and leave the comment for next part.